Hey there, neighbors and naysayers. December the 10th, 2024. Glenn Finney again. This is first day one of bale grazing with the sheep. I just turned them in here about 9 o'clock this morning. As you can see, we've got a 3-strand electric fence runs up this middle of this field like the spine. I have put, for now, 2 strands of polywire on the inside of that. Now we own up to a 6-strand fence against that wood line, but just to be sure, or try to be sure, the neighbor has a guard dog. We have guard dogs. The neighbor has 2 or 3-strand electric fence. We have 6-strand electric fence plus this 3-strand electric fence. We're just trying to keep the guard dogs separate as much as possible. His doesn't roam. My Great Pyrenees that's sitting up there at the feed bowl does. So we had to build that fence for that. And then the second part of this is electric woven wire. So 2 brand spanking new rolls of electric woven wire. One quartered around this bale, the next one quartered around the next bale. And then in 8 days or 10 days, whatever it takes, we'll put more bales up there. Hopefully this weekend we'll haul at least 8 more bales up along this row. The problem in this field is it's 263 feet wide times 2. The roll of electric woven wire is 164 foot long. I don't want to give them 3 bales at a time because then that would mean their stay would be 2 weeks in a section. I'd rather move them off of a section every couple of days. So I'm just going to try to do it as a quarter on 1 bale and then move them on 4 to 5 days later. Now, I mean, for those of you who don't know, we just use a panel, livestock panel around the bale. We have to take the outside wrap off to get that livestock panel on there, and then we'll just drag it to the next bale, which won't be as far as it looks because the next bale we're going to roll it down the hill to this fence, flip it on its side, and then put it on. That way the outside wrap's unrolled a little bit. I'm not sure how this is going to work out. I guess take a step back. I hate this electric woven wire with a passion. We have it for the chickens because that's what we have to have, and that's where Jasper lives. Our other guard dog keeps him in, keeps chickens in, sort of keeps the predators out. With Jasper, 100% of the predators stay out. But for everyday livestock moves, this is not the fence for you. This is not the fence for me. This is for 4 or 5 days of high impact, high density grazing. And because I don't want those sheep disappearing out into that other stockpile or the rest of this 14-acre field or the rest of the 50 acres on this side of the farm, I want to keep them contained in this one little section and make sure they eat a bale. If you see her barking, it's because her dog food's laying up here in the corner and she's trying to keep sheep away from it. That's going to be an issue too at first here because it's such a small area. My plan is now, for the next quarters, I can do this in this long run here in 3-strand polywire and do the same quartering method with those bales over there. The sheep, we're going to, little Jedi mind trick here. The sheep won't want to go this way because it's already been grazed. And so it kind of tricks them into thinking there's nothing more up there. We'll see how that works. Sometimes you can trick sheep. Sometimes sheep are way too smart for you. But that's kind of the plan. Rather than having multiple more nets than I need. I just bought these 2 knowing that I can always use another one with the chickens. Having an extra one isn't going to hurt anything. So 2's fine. And 2 would go across the entire width of this field. The other way I could probably do it is I could build, and I just thought of this, build 3 strands above the one set of bales of polywire, and then fence this in such a way to make 1 bale exposed, and then move it just a little bit, open it in the center, move it around the center bale, open it in the end, move it around the end bale, and have it all grazed. I could do that. It would take a little bit more work, but that's something to think about further. But that's what we're trying to do here. We're just trying to bale graze these sheep instead of leaving them on a winter sacrifice lot all winter long. I hate the winter sacrifice lot. The other part that's cool about this is, at this point, these are clean pastures. They've been unexposed since July, so they're essentially clean 4 months. We haven't had any, other than deer, we haven't had any sheep here, so they'll be pretty much parasite free, which is kind of cool. And you can see the difference in graze. This has been since 9 o'clock this morning, and this is what they'll go into in 4 or 5 days. I expect this to be well over grazed by the time we move them, but that's just the way it is. Can't help it. And there's just lots of drastic measures we've had to make here because of the drought. You might have seen me just flip past the protein tub. Yeah, I mean, that's a sheep protein tub. I don't like that we have to use them, but we just have to use them. These years will never reach consumption with my customers, so it's not something that I have to worry about as far as I'm not losing my grass-fed status with these guys, because I'm not going to sell these as meat to anybody anyway. So desperate times call for desperate measures, and it's just what we'd have to do. It's better than losing a ton of ewes over the winter or depopulating to get through. It's just what we have to do. It's the cheapest and best alternative, and in a drought, that's what we have to go for. So I didn't mean to get into that. It's just, I know our pan past that tub, and that's the way that it is. We're strictly grass-fed around here, but desperate times call for desperate measures. We have to use what we can. You can see the line feeder there. Once a day. For flushing purposes, they're getting a quarter of a 5-gallon bucket of soy hull pellets, which is a forage, and molasses, which is also a forage-derived product. But we had to put the mineral tubs or protein tubs out here just to be certain we were all right. And actually, they would rather have a lot of other things. They don't go through the tub like they used to, because we got the other things going on here. Again, just desperate times call for desperate measures, and this is what we're trying to do. We're just trying to do this, and as we do this, we will phase out both the feed, the soy hull pellets and molasses. Will phase that out because of the flushing time will be over, and probably will phase out the tubs too, because they're just going to have enough forage to keep them going. So again, it's the way the plan worked. I mean, the field they were in's down there by the road for the winter. I want them up here out of the way. Also want them up here just because as snow comes, people get worried about them, and sheep don't. You don't have to worry about sheep in the wintertime. This cold wet's worse than frozen and snow. So, and on top of that, water, that's the other thing to think about. There's a water line runs right up that spine fence. So we've got hydrants every 250 feet. So I don't have to go far for water to be able to dump water in. And again, desperate times, desperate measures. There's that brown ewe right there. There's a ewe lamb. There's a ewe lamb up there at the feeder. The rest of these ewes are all 2+. And I looked back the other day, there's a ewe in here, and I can't see her right now. She's usually right here in my face. She's missing an ear, and a guard dog puppy about 10 years ago licked her ear off. That's how old she is, and she's still having lambs. So there are some ewes out here that are getting really old, and as long as they keep producing, we keep them. And we know because of the drought, things are some of them are a little way thinner than I'd like them to be, but they're hanging in there because of what we're doing and how we're keeping them moving now, and we've kept other things going to do it. I'd love for there to be a forage option, and there really is. I mean, we could buy high quality alfalfa. I'm told sheep don't really care for alfalfa, so I don't know that they'd eat it. But right at this point, where do I find it? Where do I find it in the quantities I need it in round bales, which they're all typically in large squares. Large squares would require me to bring them in and put them on the feedlot. I don't want to do that. So this is just the best option we have, and the most economical option. And, we can't be sustainable without being profitable, and we've got to be profitable to be sustainable. So we just have to take the best option we can have. I'm not taking an easy way out. It's just the route we have to take. While we're here, though, where these ewes are standing, that was where a bale was last year, and you can see it did grow. There's some forage in there. It's just because of the drought, it just all died for lack of second. And once we get some rain here in the spring, hopefully that'll bounce right up and go. So with that, I'll say we'll see you next time.